300. Listen, folks, Shock, I want to share my thoughts with y'all. I was having a discussion with a brother earlier, and he asked me if I believe a so-called athlete, celebrity, or musician on that other side can be pro-black or stand for a community that count. And I did answer him, but I wanted to speak about it on this video today. And so, y'all, what came to mind was this episode of $1 Million Worth of Game that featured DJ Akademiks. They were on there talking about various things, but they got into a clip where they were speaking about the business and politics of hip-hop, okay? And so, DJ Akademiks asked Gilly, exactly why did they pass on, doing an interview with Skittle Boy, okay? And I'll go ahead and play the clip. I'll be right back.
Because how we was raised, how I was brought up, you stand what you do. This is a nigga right here who went to jail at 17 years old, bro, and got 20 years, bro. He ain't tell on nobody. He stood what he did. He ain't say, hold up, he was with me. No, wait, he did. No, it was none of that. He stood on what he did, and when you step out here and that's what you choose to do, when you acting like you subscribing to this street shit, you gotta stand on what you do, man. And that's just how I operate on life.
I agree with it from your perspective. I think that's a great perspective. I only look at it that I think you may have missed an opportunity to teach the people who look at him, unless you don't care to teach those people.
I really don't care.
Obviously the streets made their mind up about that. But I went to a concert. This is after he did
he's still doing stuff.
And
he got a different audience.
Yeah, it was all these, non-African American. There was some slight little bit, maybe like 2%. But it was this whole different audience that consumed hip hop.
Right.
And they don't care about those ideals. They don't care about some of the,
But they wasn't raised how I was raised.
But you kicking game. At some point, I would imagine you don't only want to give game to people in the inner cities. You want to give game to people who are consuming this culture because they're taking this shit. And when you look at Rolling Loud, they're not advertising Rolling Loud in the hood.
Right.
They're bringing the people from Idaho,
right.
The people from like out the way Connecticut,
Iowa.
That's becoming the new majority of what hip hop is.
Well, that's always been the majority.
But you got to talk
White
to them.
White people always bought the majority of hip hop records. That's just facts. You feel what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, that's always been the majority. It just starts.
But they listen to him.
It just starts in the streets. It starts in them little neighborhoods. It starts and then it sprinkles out to the suburbs.
The back room, the basement.
Right. But at the end of the day, the biggest supporter of hip hop has always been the white people. They always been.
Okay, so y'all heard what they had to say, and I do agree with what they were talking about, child. You know what I'm saying? I believe that that's how the game go, And if you accept the game for what it is and how it go, okay, like I do, then you understand that it's kind of impossible for anybody to be really pro-black over there or stand for a community that counts, so-called pro-black. When they go into those rooms, in my opinion, they school real quick that, hey, listen, if you want to get these millions or whatever fame you're going to get, you want to get on these stages and things like that, you have to pander to these other groups of people. And they definitely get into it. This is the reason why you see Kanye West talking like a straight soy boy.
Always working? No, I actually slept a lot during the project.
While they were recording?
Yeah, I have a team and we work together.
These dudes, they be acting real weird, man, in front of the camera. It doesn't really match up with the so-called black man or the man of African descent, in my opinion. And that's because they're trying to take on the character of these other guys to make them feel closer to them, okay? That's what it is. When they do the little pandering to us, they only do that to get us to co-sign what they do. and back them up. Because they got to see that. The other people got to see that, we believe they real and stuff like that. That's how they get it, all right? And so they do the little pandering to us just for that. But after that, they do damn near everything for them. Even the music and shows they make. Most of the music and stuff that they make, shows, TV, everything, is to give the other groups of people a look into who they believe we are as so-called black people. It's not to really tell them the truth. It's the reason why you look at shows like Power and Snowfall, and these shows are littered with gross stereotypes. You know what I'm saying? It's simply because that is what those other people want to see, okay? And this is the secret, y'all. They actually believe that that's good mental health for these other groups of people, because they don't know how these people will react if they seen on a great scale that they are not these special, better people that they've been made to believe that they are. Okay, this is a part of keeping the social construct the same. Okay, it gets real deep, y'all, because I'm gonna explain to y'all why they have so-called black celebrities and stuff play the game like this. I'll let y'all know in a minute. Well, one of the reasons, okay, more fitting to what I'm talking about here. But these shows are really not for us. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of the music ain't either for real. Now, some of the music can be real because a lot of these dudes associate themselves with dudes who really lived it. Most of the head dudes that you find out in the game, you like, dang, you ain't lived a life. They associate themselves with some of these brothers out here, and they write, out their life. But a lot of times, man, the music, it doesn't really reflect the reality of the streets for real or nothing. Especially the TV shows, y'all. You know what I'm saying? But the reason why is because it is to give them what they believe it is, okay? Not really what it is, okay? For the most part, it's just stereotypical. But, these dudes will do it. You know what I'm saying? They'll do it at the expense of their own communities deteriorating because they worship money, okay? And they put it before anything, especially so-called black progress, all right? All right? But they are also told pretty much to a certain extent they have to be socially responsible, okay? When they had this dude, Run DMC, I reported this, come out talking about speaking on social issues, I'd explain to y'all that rappers are not drug doctors and stuff like that. They're not psychologists and things of that nature. However, what he meant was y'all need to stop talking about it, okay? Because it's starting to influence the audience that you are supposed to be pandering to, okay? Because you look up, we're not technically the ones having the problems with some of the things that he was mentioning. But, he's kind of a veteran. You know what I'm saying? He's probably a guy that has schooled a lot of these other dudes to what's going on. And you might ask yourself, well, why do so-called black folks have to play the game like that over there? The reason why is because it goes back to that Jay-Z video. It's pretty much full circle what I be talking about, y'all. We do not own any stake over there in the game. Just having the talent pulling up ain't enough. You got to have some control over things. You know what I'm saying? To be in a position to where you go over there and say, well, I'm not going to do that at the expense of my community deteriorating. You also got to have some culture, which so-called black folks in the West really don't have. Okay? But, you also got to have some clout, and we don't have that. And so when you go over there, you're kind of at the mercy of having to deal with the people that it's kind of the ops. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of so-called black folks, they get on board, But yeah, that's how it is, man. That's why they have to play it like that. But a good example is like the Asian, for example. You know what I'm saying? They do not make much money off selling Chinese food at all in America. okay, from their own people. They sell it to other people. But you don't see them saying, oh, we got to get out here and pander and do stuff that's, you know what I'm saying, in opposition to our own community. We got to do stuff that's going to, you know what I'm saying, deteriorate our own community in exchange for pleasing and pandering to them because they're giving us money. No, they don't do that. You know what I'm saying? And the reason why is because they're about trying to run shit, and they are running shit. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, they cannot be so-called pro-black. And when you hear them talk about that stuff, okay, it's nonsense. They're only doing it to help their brand or to help their masters over there. And oftentimes when you hear it anyway from them, is when those people that they're supposed to be pandering to, they ain't really following them like that no more. This is the reason why you see a lot of so-called rappers and stuff like that is no longer relevant in the game. Now they so-called pro-black. Now they speaking on so-called pro-black issues. And even then it ain't for real. But I'm going to go ahead and leave it there, y'all. Y'all comment below. Like this information. Hit the sub button and the bell. We dropping shit y'all like. It's your folk Shaka, the urban philosopher. I'm out. It's 300.